Hi, I'm Fiona Roycroft, Director of Sports Partnership with Trend Micro, and I'm thrilled to be here with you today to introduce a new and exciting executive series which focuses on topics important to both businesses and people today. Driving innovation, staying ahead of the latest technologies, and building strong partnerships are critical for leadership and success in the market. So join us as we embark on this fascinating journey exploring the culture of success with Trend Micro and the NEOM McLaren Formula E team. In this first episode, we're going to be joined by Zach Brown, CEO of McLaren Racing, and Dania Thacker, SVP for Trend Micro. And they're going to give you their valuable insights as we look to driving for success. Zach, Dania, thank you for joining us here today as we talk about driving for success. So let's kick off this conversation by asking you both, what does success mean to you?
We're all in a results-based business, so I think there's the what in success, and those are the pure results. But I think what's equally as important is the how and how you achieve those results, and that's kind of winning on the track and off the track. And I think the how you want to do with style, with grace, with humility, with class, and in our case, sporting, recognizing these great teams that we're racing against. So to me, success is on-track results, but equally as important, kind of the off-track results.
And for me, Zach, when I was young, success was all about myself, right? How fast you can grow and, what you can do. And as you get older, you become wiser and you start realizing that actually success is about having a common shared vision as a team and winning
Teamwork.
as a win. Teamwork, right? I think that part just gives you so much joy when you see, people celebrating those little wins and collectively as you come together. That's really what success
More
is
fun
about.
celebrating with a lot of people than celebrating it by yourself.
Absolutely, yeah, true.
So what are the qualities and the characteristics that you think are inherent when we talk about the notion of driving for success?
I think when we talk about success, I always ask people this: what is more important, doing things right or doing the right things? If you don't do the right things and you just keep executing, you're going to fail faster. But either way, you're going to fail. I think doing the right things right is really, what you need for success.
Right, we both have very large organizations, and you need to get everyone working together. In order to get everyone working together, you need to be transparent. There needs to be a lot of trust. You need to challenge each other. You also need to back each other up, have a bit of a no-blame culture. You kind of win together, you lose together, and you learn together, and you're always looking for incremental improvements. How can I be a little bit better today than I was yesterday, and what do I need to do tomorrow that's a little bit better than I did today? And if you can get into that incremental gain mindset, I think that drives success.
What characteristics do you see in yourselves that drive you to be successful, but are also critical to your success and to your company's success?
I always say I'm not a smart guy. I never have been. But what I'm really good at is finding smart guys, surrounding myself with smart guys.
It's all about
and,
team.
I feel like having that right team around you really leads to that. But I also agree with you. One of the things I think in both our jobs, it's important that failure is going to be there.
And you can learn from it.
You can learn from it.
Get smarter from failure.
You cannot have the fear of failure.
I always say in the factory, mistakes are okay, just don't make the same one twice.
We've heard about success for both of you as leaders in your organization, but what are the characteristics that help you to drive an organization forward?
I think to get an organization all rowing the same direction, there has to be an immense amount of trust. Give people the benefit of the doubt. It's inevitable in our large organizations that you sometimes forget something or forget someone from a meeting or you didn't communicate as well. And you want to create a culture where people are comfortable speaking up and everyone also understanding and appreciating each other's roles.
Certainly in our case, you have to be a lot more vigilant, but both require this teamwork, the trust, having a common shared vision, because you got to rely on people. We ourselves as a leader cannot do the top down. We really need people to be accountable for their own things.
As a leader, how do you build an organization to have that success-based culture?
So I feel like my role get the best people in the business, set clear goals and objectives on how they all need to come together, then kind of stand back. And I'm much more in a, what can I do to support you? Do you need more people? Do you need more technology? Do you need me to get something from the board signed off? So I feel very much I work for the racing team, not the racing team works for me.
From trend perspective, I always said that we have to build this culture of trust, care, and accountability. You have to trust the people.
100%.
You really cannot, try to do it yourselves. You gotta, let them make those decisions every day on their own. And of course, we have to care for them. And care just doesn't come from compensation. It's care about every little thing, both professionally and personally.
And their families.
And their families, right?
100%.
But at the same time, we have to make sure that there is a culture of accountability as well. You can have the trust and the care. It's like, a three-legged stool. If one of the pieces is wobbly, then, you don't have a balanced thing. And accountability means not only, making sure that they are accountable, but we ourselves have to hold ourselves to the highest level of accountability as well, right?
How do you continue to drive that success within your organization?
Well, I think to use an electric term, we got to keep charging ourselves up. Clearly what we're doing in our organizations is working. It's never easy. When something's working, change too much, just want to kind of charge it up so we can go even faster.
Look, we know that the path to success is never linear. It has its own ups and downs, and especially in Formula E, things are beginning to come together very, very nicely. With Trend, it's also been the same thing, right? Like when we started off, we were leaders in virtualization and cloud security, and there was a time when we went through, downturn in terms of this detection and response. And we've come out with an incredible, powerful platform talking about proactive security. And so I feel, both organizations having gone through their challenges understand, that it's never going to be a straight road.
And we can't stand still because our competition keeps moving, and your competition, both the good competition and those that are keeping you busy, keeping us safe and protected. So I think the role and responsibility you have, I always say we're here to entertain people. What you're doing is so mission critical to protecting companies and individuals around the world. And the world's getting a more sophisticated place. And I would imagine with things like AI, I can't imagine what's being thrown your way every day.
I know, but it's exciting.
Zach, Dania, thank you both so much for your time here today. It has been a thought-provoking conversation between you both. We have learned how you're both successful in your own right, but how you are working with both organizations to continue to make them successful. It also shows the importance of partnering with the right organization. And I certainly know that Trend and the NEOM McLaren Formula E team are the right partners as we accelerate into 2025. Thank you both.
As are we.
Thank you.
Let's do it.
Thank you, Zach. That's it.
Cool.
Okay,
I'm going to get one more haul. That was good.